Right. So here the first we are going to study about arrays. Okay. So this is the syntax of array for creating empty array. Okay. And here you can see we are creating the array and we are initializing with the values. Okay. So here we have how many values? 5 values we have, and the array name is days. Okay. This is alternate way of creating array. Similarly in JavaScript we saw what is the alternate way of creating different ways of creating arrays in JavaScript. So this is one way of creating arrays in PHP. Okay. And if you want to access any values, okay, simply you can give the name of the array followed by the index. Okay, so this will give you the value. Okay, Tuesday. Okay, because one is the index. Okay, and the one which is having the value index will be having the value Tuesday. Okay, so this will give you the value Tuesday. Okay, so only difference is you will be using here dollar symbol. Okay, and you can see here. So you can create an empty array like this. You can create an empty array and you can assign the values individually. Okay. For example, Monday will be assigned to index 0. Tuesday will be assigned to 1. Okay. So like this also you can create. Or as what we can do is you can create like this also. Okay. So here what happens is set the next initial value or sequential value to the Monday. Okay. For example, this is having, okay, by default, if the uh, if this is given with the index value 1, okay, then this will be having the index value 2. Okay, so here index you are not specifying the difference between these two. Index you are not specifying. So by default it will be having some index. Okay, so this will be having 1 and this will be having index 2. Okay, and here you can see this is explicitly defining the key. Okay, you are defining the key by default. Okay, it will be having key 0, 1, 2 and n. Okay, here key is nothing but the index. Okay, so index is 0, 1, 2 n. Okay, but here what we do is you are specifying the key. Okay, you can see here, okay, we are specifying the key with the value 0, 1, 2, okay, so on, and we are also specifying the value. Okay, and you can see here, okay, this is one more array, okay, forecast, and this is given with the string type of key. The index is not 0, 1, 2, 3, but instead it is string Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you can see, this is how your array looks. Okay. So keys are in the form of string and these are the values, okay, for respective keys. And suppose if you want to print any values, you can give simply echo dollar forecast and you can specify the key. What is the one which is having the key Tuesday? That is Tuesday. Here what is the value it will be returning? It will be returning you 47. Okay. And similarly, if you see Thursday, Thursday is having the value 40. Okay. So multiple elements of an array can be assigned to scalar variables. Okay, you can see here this is a array. Okay, now what we do is the array elements are assigned to scalar variables. So these are the variables. Okay, now what happens is dollar $a will be having the first value. Okay, dollar $b will be having the second value. So you are assigning the array values to the scalar variable. So this is a scalar variable. Okay, simple variable is called as a scalar variable, and this is your array variable. Okay, you can see here this is one example. Okay. Here we have three values: dog, cat, and horse. Okay. Now what happens is in this case dog will be assigned to A. Okay, B will be assigned with the cat, and C will be assigned with the horse. So I have several animals. Okay, A dog, A cat, and A horse. So this will be the output. You can see here. You can go through the output. Next comes multidimensional array. Okay, so multidimensional array we have already saw an example. Okay, for multidimensional array in the PHP. Okay, how we have created multidimensional arrays when dealing with the transpose or a simple calculator or addition or multiplication. Where we created the array. Here also we are creating the array. You can see this is the array, and the array is having, okay, three rows, I mean, sorry, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, altogether there will be 4 rows. Okay, now you can see here, okay, 0 of 3. So what is 0 of 3? So here, 0th row and, okay, and this will be your, okay, index with 3. Okay, 0 and 3. Similar to your C programming. Okay, so this will give you the value Thursday. Okay, so this is how the array looks. Okay. So 03 means it is Thursday. Okay. Similarly, if we go for 3 2, 3 is third row. Okay, that is this one index as per index, third row and second column. So this will be pointing to Wednesday. Okay. So this is one more example where, okay, we are specifying, explicitly specifying the ID and key. Okay, so keys are ID, title and quantity. Okay, with the values, you can see these are the values. Okay, this is an example. Okay, where you can see this is a empty array. Okay, this is one more way of creating multi-dimensional array with the name card. And you can see here we are specifying the different values. Okay, so 0th row, if it is 0, so this is for your row 0, it will be R0. This is for R1, okay, and this is for R3, 2, okay. So all these are having, okay, these are the IDs. Iterating the array, okay. So we studied in C programming how to access the elements of the array using for loop or any other loop we can use. Okay, similarly, you can see here we are using here while loop. We can do it using do while loop or using for loop. Okay. So here there is one built-in function count which will give you the length of the array. Okay, count $days. How many elements are there in this? 5. Okay, so count will give you the value 5. Okay. Then 0 is less than 5. Okay, so first I'll just show you one example. Okay, if initially it is $days of 0, so it will display you Monday. Then increment the value of I will become 1. Next days of 1, it will display you Tuesday. So on it continues. When it becomes 4, it will check 4 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true. $days of 4, it will display you Friday. Increment the value of I, it will become 5. 5 less than 5, condition fails. Okay, similar to your C programming, no difference. Okay, and this is using do while loop also you can perform. Okay, and this is using for loop. Okay. So for loop also straight similar to your C programming. I, yeah, initialization, condition and increments. Okay, or decrement, and printing the values of array elements. Only thing is wherever you have variables, give dollar symbol. Okay. One more thing is iterating through an array using for each. Okay. So you can use so for is one more concept which is used for iterating through the values of the array. Okay. Similar to your for loop, okay, one new concept here is for each. So for each is something like this. Okay. For each works only on arrays. Okay. Because for loop can be used for different ways, but for each can work only for arrays and is used for to loop through each key and values pair in the array. Okay. So this is the syntax for each dollar name of the array as dollar value. Okay. So this is pointing to an array and this will be pointing toward values of the array. Okay. You can see here there is an example. So this is your array. Okay. Dollar colors is the name of the array and dollar values. You can give any name, dollar I, dollar A and all. Okay. So this is a variable which will be holding the values of the array. Okay. So echo dollar value. So it will print you the values of the array. So initially it will print red, green, so on it will print. Okay. So this is about for each. And suppose if you want to print key as well as value, okay, you are not just interested with value, you want as well as key, then you can go for this. This example is available. So you can see here. So this is your key value. Okay. Peter, Ben, and Joy are the key. 35, 37, and 43 are the values. You can see we are specifying the name of the array as, okay, this is with the key and value. Okay. So you can see here $x will be having the key and the $val will be having the value. So it will print like this. Okay. So this is a simple example you can use when they ask you in the exam about for each in PHP. So adding the elements to the array. Okay. So how you will add the elements? So these are having the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth element if you want. Okay, fifth index if you want to add the element. So for this fifth index, okay, you can add it something like this. Okay. Alternatively, a new element can be added to the end of the array like this without specifying the index. So very simple concepts. Okay. So I have given example for all. Okay. If you go through the example, you will understand it easily. So here, this is the array, and you have added the seventh index element as Saturday. Okay, and this is one of the important concept in PHP, which is used for printing the arrays. Okay, simply if you give print underscore r and the name of the array, it will print the array. See whether the example is available. Here, simply if you give print underscore r and specify the name of the array, it will print the array. Okay. So you did not use any for loop and all. Okay, to print the array, you can simply give this built-in function print r. Then deleting the element. So we have several built-in functions available in PHP for dealing with the arrays. Okay. So for deleting the elements, you can go for unset. Okay, we have an example here. So here, this is having the index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Simply you can give dollar days 0 with the unset for 2, which will delete this. Okay. Similarly, unset dollar array 3, if you give, it will delete this. Okay. Now suppose if you print this, it will be having only Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Okay. And there is one more built-in function, array values. Okay. It re-indexes the array numerically. So what it will do? It re-indexes. What is the index of Monday? It is 0, 1, and this is 4. Okay. Now what it will do? It will re and it will, okay, it will be having the value which is greater than or 1 greater than the previous value. Okay. So it is used for re-indexing the array numerically and displaying the value of the array. Okay. Not only displaying the array value, it will also re-index. Okay. ESET, this is one more. Okay. ESET is used to check whether the value exists for a key. Okay. Now this is your key 1, 3, and 4. You are checking whether, okay, at the key 0 whether you have any element. Okay, you can see this here. We don't have any element at the index 2 or 0. Correct. So it will display the message. There is something set for key 0 if it is there. Okay. Now you are checking whether it is there. Whether it is not there here. Correct. For the index 0. Now check this. Odd keys at the index 1. Do we have an index 1? Yes, we have index 1 with the value what? Hello, correct. So this will give you the value true. So this function will return true. Here it will return false because we don't have any a key with the value 0. Okay, but here we have the key with the value 1. So it will return true and it will display the message. Okay, there is something set to key 1, namely, okay, what is the value there? It is hello. Okay, it will display hello. Next, there are a few more. Okay, so sort it will it will take your array name as a parameter, and it is used for sorting the array based on the values. Okay, based on the value, it will sort the elements of the array. Assort, it will, okay, assort, it sorts the values in the array but keeps the original key and value association. Okay, so if this is your key and association, key and value. Okay. So this association will be maintained. Okay. Something like this it is there. Okay. So what it will do? First it will display the first one which will start with and it will display in the next okay, order. Okay, sorting the array elements based on the value. So it will focus this and it will sort the array. But here this association will be maintained. Here you can see it is not altering the values of the key. Okay, it is untouched. So you can see the examples you can see here. Sort, it is based on value 21, 22, 23 and 30. So there is no association between okay, the values and the key. How it is displayed? It is not displaying any key like Peter, Tom, Alice and all. It is simply displayed like this. So this is the output. Okay. And here you can see A, B, C and D. Okay. It is simply displaying. Okay. Here also you can see Alice 22. Suppose if we have okay the combination, the values are combination of numbers and characters. Okay, first priority will be given for characters and then the priority will be given for the numbers. Okay, assort is something like this. Okay, so here the association between the name and the values will be, I mean key and values will be maintained. Okay, so here assort will sort the values based on the values. Okay, Alice 22 and 28. What is the key of Alice? It is Tom, and 22 is having Peter and 28 is having the key Bob. And this is one more interesting K sort. Okay, the K sort is used for sorting not the values. Okay, it is easy to remember. This K stands for key. Okay. So it will sort the key. So alphabetic order, first Bob, Peter, and then Tom. Tom. Okay, and here it is displayed as it is. So Bob is having 28, Peter is 22, and Tom is having Alice. No, nothing to do with the values here. Okay, only to sort the array based on the key. So similarly, you have different R sort, AR sort, KR sort, and all. They are similar to sort, but only thing is it is for sorting. Okay, in the reverse order. So this is in the descending order. You can see here. So this is the array. Okay, this is for R sort in the reverse order. Okay, this is for R sort. It will sort in the reverse order. This is for AR sort. Okay, so what it will do? It will sort in the reverse order, but it also keeps the key. Okay, it is not making it 0, 1 and 2. It will also keeps the association between the key and value. So it will not touch this key. Okay, it will keep it as it is. Okay, and this is in the reverse order based on the key. So Tom comes first, Peter next, and last comes the Bob. Okay, so this is one more example. Okay. So here you can go through this example. So this is your original array which is displayed here. Okay. So it will display this original array and print the values. Okay. And here you are calling a sort function. So sort will sort the array based on the values. Okay. Here first it will give the priority for R bit and 42. Okay. So here you can see. Okay. Index is not fed and all. Okay. So this index is not maintained, but instead you will be having indexes 0, 1, 2, 3 and all. Okay. So here similarly if you come across A sort, A sort if you execute, so this will be the output for A sort. So A sort it will maintain the keys. Okay. So it will order based on the values, but keys will be maintained. And K sort it is based on the key. Okay, for all it is given output, you can execute and check the output. So coming to more operations in array, so these are some of the operations we have. So so array keys, it takes an array as parameter and returns the key of the values. As you can see here, so it will return the so dollar $a. Okay, array is given as a uh, parameter for this built-in function array keys. Okay, so for each array, okay, it takes array as parameter and returns all the keys of the array. So what are the keys that are there? So first key is this one, second is this, and this is this third one. So there are three keys. So how it will give? Okay, this is first key, second BMW and Toyota. So what is the index? How it will give? So 0 is having the key. Okay, first is having Volvo, BMW and Toyota. So keys it will give. Okay, so this is similar to the previous one, but instead here giving the keys, instead that it will give you the values. So these are the values we have. So these are the values it will be displaying. Okay. And next one is, this is a program which is combination of both, okay, previous functions, okay, array keys and array values. Okay. So what are the keys? Here it will display the keys and here it will display the values. Array key exists. Okay. We are checking the existence for the particular key. Okay. So in the array $a, whether you have this key. Okay, now whether you have this key almost, yes, it is there. If it is there, it returns true. Okay. Now in this example, it will display the message array, the key exists. Okay. So it will check whether the particular key is there in the array. Next one is array. Is array. We are checking whether this is an array. Okay. So whether this name, whatever parameter is passed, it is an array. So you can see here you have the array. The array name is $var name. Yes, it is an array. So it returns true, and this will display the message. This is an array. Okay. In array. So in array you are checking, okay, whether this particular value is there in this array. Whether you have this particular value. Yes, it is there here. Okay. So this will return you true, and you will be displaying the message match found. Okay. Size of will return you the number of elements in the array. How many number of elements we have? Here we are having 3 elements. So it will return you 3. Next, there is one more, okay, count. Okay, so count, what it will do you? It is also similar to your previous size of. Okay, so size of can also be used, or you can also go for count. Here also it will give you the number of elements in the array. It will give you the value how many we have, this one and this. Okay, 2 elements. Comparison between the strings and the array. Okay, so there is few functions which will be having, okay, which will be taking string as well as arrays. It will be dealing with both of this objects, string and arrays. Okay, so this is a function import. Okay, so it returns a string from an element of an array. So it takes two parameters, one is separator and another one is array. So you can see here, it will be very clear when I discuss with an example. So here this is an array. Okay. So what is this? This is a separator. What is this? This is a space. Okay. Give a space here, okay, which is given in double quotes, and this is the name of the array. Now what will be your output? Okay, it will display all the elements of the array separated by space. Okay. Here, this is one more example. It will display all the elements separated by this separator. What is the separator here? Hash. Okay, next built-in function is export. So what export will do? It converts string into array. So let us look at an example. Okay, so here it takes two parameters. One is separator and another one is string. So here I have a string. Okay, this is a string. Hello world. It's a beautiful day. So export. Okay, what it will do? It will convert that string into an array. So first word will be assigned to 0, second word will be assigned to 1, its will be assigned to 2, A will be assigned to 3, beautiful will be assigned to 4, and 5 will be assigned to D. So what this will do? This will separate the string based on not space, that's based on a exclamatory. What is the separator here? Exclamatory symbol. So how many exclamatory symbols we have? 2 exclamatory symbols we have. Correct? No, not 2. I'm having here 3. Okay, so this is a separator. So how many array values will be created? So this is one array value, second value, and this will be a third value, which will be indexed 0, 1 and 2. Okay. So next one is array rand. Okay, array rand, what it will do? It will return the random keys. Okay. So array rand. Okay. So this is the name of the array. Okay. And here you need, okay, randomly 2 elements. Okay. You can see here. Suppose if you give here, okay, some numbers. What array rand will give? So array rand function, it returns a key from an array and returns an array of random keys. If you specify that function, okay, to return more than one key. So this number is optional. Okay, whatever the number we give. So there are 2 parameters. First one is array and this is optional. So optional specify how random keys to return. So there is an example here. So how many random keys it will return? It will return you 3 random keys. Okay. So here random key is 0, which will be in the form of array. Okay. Whatever the random keys it returns, it will be in the form of array. Okay. 0, some 3 random keys it will return. Okay. So how it will be stored? So random, okay, it will return 0 will be having some key. Okay. In our example, it will returning 1. Okay, you can see here 1, okay, is having green, blue is having 2, and yellow is having 3. So how many random keys it will returning? 2, 1, 2, and 3. So 3 keys it will return. Okay. So which will be stored in this array. So this is also an array. Okay. So it is having 3 values. Okay. So at the 0th index it is having 1. At the second, okay, 1 index it is having blue, and second index it is having yellow. Okay. So there are 3 values, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So you try to display these values. Okay. It will return green, blue, and yellow. Next one is array reverse. Okay. It is used for reversing the array. You can see here. So first Monday, Thursday, and so on. Shuffle. Okay. Shuffle, as the name indicates, it is used for, okay, any existing keys are removed and array is now an indexed array which it wasn't already. Okay. Shuffled one it will be displayed. So all the elements will be there, red, green, blue, yellow, and purple. Okay, you can see here how it will be. It will be shuffled. Okay. So whatever the existing keys are there, it will be removed. Okay. So now red is having what is the index of red? It is not 0, but it is having the index 2. Okay. Okay. So index are also shuffled and try to display. Array walk. Okay. So this is one more. Array walk. So an example you can hear, you are specifying 3 parameter array name. Okay, there is some calling function. Okay, and if there is any parameter if you want to pass to this function. Okay, so it will be clear with example. Okay, so I am declaring an array. So this is an array. We are calling this array walk, and you are passing the array name some a, and you are calling this function do print. You can see here, this is a function we are calling do print. Okay, we are passing to parameters key and value. Okay, so it is nothing but this key and value. Okay. So this will display 0 key, value is hello. Okay, I just do X, 1 is world. Okay. Completely try to write. Okay. So do print, okay, here do print function is called for this particular. So whenever you are having this okay, array, you are specifying this array, so it simply prints the value of each element in the array. Okay, so for each element, okay, for each element in the array, you will be calling this function. So for hello, it will call this function. For world, it will call this function. Next, coming to the next topic, super global arrays. Okay. So you are studying few of these super global arrays in detail. So PHP uses some predefined associative array. So that arrays are called as super global arrays. That means predefined arrays. Okay. Built-in arrays. We can call built-in arrays. So these are the examples. Okay, these are some of the examples. Okay. So few are we will be studying in detail. Okay, for example, dollar get, dollar post, dollar server. So these things, dollar en. Few we are studying in detail. Okay. You can see these are all super global arrays. Okay, built-in arrays. Okay. So you can go through this. Okay, I'll explain few in detail. Sometimes they may ask you explain two super global arrays with example or three super global arrays with example. So let us consider first two dollar get and dollar post. So this is a built-in array. Okay. So here that allows the program to access the data sent by the client in the query string. So this is one of the very important concepts when you are dealing with the server-side program, when you are dealing with connection with the database, updating any values to the database. So this is very important. By now, when you if you have started developing your websites, okay, mini project, you might have come across with this dollar get and dollar post. Okay, this is your simple form. Okay, and remember the method should be get if you are using dollar get. Okay, I'm discussing with this first. Okay, we'll discuss this first. Dollar get, the method should be get. Okay, this is your action page for which you want to send the submitted data. There are two buttons, one for entering, okay, not two buttons, text fields, one for entering the name, another for entering the password. When you click on the submit button, it will call this page. And since this is a get method, the data will be sent to the server in the form of a query string. If you remember, this is what we call it as a query string. The data will be sent in the form of name and value pairs separated by ampersand. So first name is what? Uname. Okay. Second name is password, and this is a value Richardo. This is a value for password. So name and value pair separated by ampersand. Okay. Now this is your front end code, correct? This much is your front end code. This is your PHP code, back end code. Okay. Suppose if I want to fetch the value what you have written here, entered here, what I should do? Dollar get, use a name here. What is the name? This is the name. Okay. Give the name. So what it will display? It will display the value. Okay. Similarly, if you give okay the name, password, it will give you this value whatever you want. Perform this operation. Either you can display to the user or you can store this value to the database, perform certain manipulations, anything you can do. So this is about post method, dollar post. Okay. Previous one was dollar get, this is about dollar post. Okay, if you are using dollar post method, okay, as I already said, whatever the data that you enter to the form, it will not be sent in the form of query string, but here it will be in the secured form, which will be sent to the server in the HTTP post request body, which is not visible to the user. This will not be visible to the user. Okay. So how to access those values? You have to give what? Dollar underscore post, give the name. Okay, give this name. what it will give? It will give you the value. So here you can see this is a form. Okay. And here you can see here, this is one more array, built-in array $_server. Okay, I explain in detail later. Okay, it will check the request method. Well, there are two types of request method, right? One can be either it can be get or it can be post. There are two types of request method, get and post. Now it will check whether the request method is post. How you can check? Using this $_server, and this is a built-in. Okay, you have to write as it is. Request method is equal to post. Now what is the request method here? It is post. It is true. Okay. Next you are checking is set. You are checking whether this $post name is there. Yes, it is there. Whether this $post password is there. Yes, it is there. So if it is there, it returns true. Here also it returns true. Okay. Once it returns true, you can display this three messages. Okay. So this is used to check, determine if any data sent. Okay. So before you are dealing with the database, okay, updating to the database or querying to the database, you have to check this whether the method is post or get, or whether particular data is there entered by the user. Okay. If the particular user has not entered the value for uname and password, what is the point in sending to the database? Correct. So first you have to check whether the user has entered these two values. Okay. So suppose if the user has not entered the value, what you can do? Simply if you click on the submit button, you can tell user and password does not exist. Okay, I mean here you are giving some wrong username and password. Okay, when you are logging, so you can display some error message. Okay, accessing form array data. So this is also a form, but here what we have? Here we are having checkbox. We already studied about checkbox. Okay, checkbox has should all have same name. If you remember, we discussed. Okay, all this belongs to the same. Okay, these are all belong to your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All these are weeks, and they all belong to the same field checkbox, and they are all having the same name. Okay, so this is Monday, Tuesday, so on. It is having the checkbox. Okay, checkbox can be used for entering multiple datas. Okay. I can pick not only Monday. Radio button is used for selecting one item. Checkbox is used for selecting multiple items. So enables multiple values for one name. Now how to send those data? So if you want to send the data to the server, how you are supposed to write? Not just like this. Okay. You have to write it like this array. You have to write date. Okay, because you are not sending one value to the server. If you are taking both Tuesday and Wednesday, you have to send these two values to the server, correct? So these two values should be stored not in just one variable. Okay, you need some way to store these two values. So what we are doing, you are creating an array. Okay, so you can see here $count $get days. So it will count. Okay, how many values it is getting. In our example, I have picked two values. It will give two values. Okay, it will tell count is equal to 2. Okay, then you can use this for each loop. Okay, and you can display those values Tuesday and Wednesday. Next one is query strings in links. So here, okay, so those things all about how to speak. Here, imagine there you have a page. This is your page browser. When you click on algebra, it will open this page. So on, there are 4 pages. Okay, writer is this, MS is this, and processing is this. There are 4 pages. Okay. Now what we can do is, okay, you can create separate 4 pages. Correct. For displaying this, you can create separate 4 pages. When you click on these 4 links, you can open 4 pages separately. But instead of that, okay, in PHP, what we can do is, okay, you can create one simple page. Okay, and then what you can do is, you can use this one page, okay, for display 4 pages. Okay, for algebra, writer, MIS, and processing, all this data can be displayed on this single page based on the request. Okay. For example, user clicks on the first one, algebra. Okay, then display the page in this page. Okay. Similarly, when the data processing is clicked, the content can be displayed in a one single page. Okay. How to do that? So for that, you can do a simple, okay, instead of giving simply uh, elementary algebra.php, curious writer.php and all, you can write the uh, query string something like this. Okay, you can create this page display book.php, and you all know that all the pages will be having a different ISBN number. Okay, so all these books will be having different ISBN number. So what we can do is, we can use this different ISBN number for displaying the content in this page. Okay. So this is ISBN number related to this page. Okay. Similarly, this will be having some different ISBN number like a 0, 3, 2, so on. It will be having different ISBN number. So whenever user click on this page, you can simply change this ISBN number and display the content in this page. Now, what is the benefit here is, here you have 4 pages, here you have only one page. So you can minimize the storage page, or you can minimize the PHP pages. Okay, so that is advantage. Next concept is sanitizing query strings. So this is used for checking any incorrect data. For example, here you are supposed to enter email. Okay, but what user will do? Here by mistake he will enter your phone number. That is incorrect data. Okay, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to tell the user that it is an incorrect data. Okay, you should not store this value in the database. Correct, right? You should not store this phone number in the field of email ID in the database. That is wrong. Okay, initially you have to perform the checking. Okay, so that process is called as what? Sanitizing the user input. Okay, checking your user input, whether it is having any incorrect data or any data is missing before performing any further action. Okay, so you are checking whether data doesn't exist, does not have any value, or any type is wrong. Okay, you are supposed to enter character, but here user is entering number. Character type is wrong. Okay, or suppose if you are trying to enter to the database table which does not exist. Okay, so all these things you have to check. So for that you have to use this built-in function. Okay, so this is a built-in function which is used for checking the special characters in the string. Okay, for use in SQL statement. So whenever you are uploading to the database anything, okay, maybe any content, okay, you have to check this function. Okay, so SQL real escape string. Okay, this uses a database API. We will learn about this in chapter 11 in detail. Okay, so this is used for checking any incorrect data or any any field with any special characters before uploading to the database. Okay. So the next one is dollar array, dollar server array. So previously we come across with dollar get, get is over, dollar post is over. Next built-in array is dollar server. Here, dollar server is a PHP super global variable which holds information about the servers. Okay, about headers, paths, script, and location. You can see here. I'll run this example. Okay, this is the array which will be having all server related information. You can see here. This will give you the PHP. Okay, this page. Okay, which page is this? Demo global server PHP page. This will give you the server name, okay, the IP of the server. Host, okay, the host PHP, host ID, okay. Referral, okay, previous referral, from which page you are coming to this page. Okay. Next, user agent, what type of browser you are using. Okay. Script name, what is the name of the script. Okay. So all this server related information will be stored in this dollar server array. Okay. So these are all built-in names. Okay, you have to write as it is. Okay, I don't give. So this one example you can give. Okay, very simple example. Names are case sensitive. Okay, so you have to write as it is. Okay, you can see here server name, server address, server port. Okay, so this is for request method. It is post method. Server protocol, what type of protocol we are using, HTTP protocol. So like this, not only restricted to only these, okay, only these array names, we have different, it is a lengthy array, okay, which will be having several, okay, you can see here, so many array codes are there. You can use this code for getting any information about the server. Okay, admin name, port name, signature, URI, okay, remote host name, anything can be got using this built-in server array. Okay, server name, address, agent, method. Okay. Next, coming to server keys, server files. So the next global array we are discussing is dollar files array. Okay. So this is meant for dealing with the files in PHP. So here, dollar files array will contain key and value pair of each file uploaded in the post. Okay, so it will be having what information about each files uploaded in the method post. So before using this built-in array, okay, you have to remember few things. Okay, what are the few things you have to remember? First one is, okay, first thing is the method should be post. Before using this global array, the method should be post. You have to use this. Okay. And file type should be, because this is meant for dealing with the files, right? So the type should be file. Okay. So this will create a button, okay, when for uploading the files. You can see here. So here you can upload the file. Okay. There will be a browse button which is meant for browsing, and you can upload the file, any kind of file you can upload. So this is mandatory. Okay. Method should be post. It should be encoding type multi-form, multi-part, and the type should be file. Okay. So this file will be encoded and divided into multiple parts before sending it to the server. Okay. And you can see here, this dollar files will be, it is meant for giving the information about the files. What are the information it will give? Okay, first you have to specify the name of the file. There are, okay, so this is the name of the file, that is file 1. Okay, you can see here, everywhere we have given the name of the file, file 1. Okay, then the second field you can specify what information you want. Okay, first one is name. What is the name of this file? It is sample1.png. Okay, what is the type of the file? What is the type of the file? It is image bar png. What is the temporary location? Where it will be stored? It is stored in this location. What is array? Error. Is there any error in uploading this file? If it is no error, it returns 0. Okay. Similarly, you can get different information. Okay. So array codes. Okay, I said here it is returning 0. When it returns 0, when your uploading of the file is successful and you don't have any error. Okay. So likewise, you have different errors. Some missing temporary folder is missing. That particular folder is missing. Write failed. Okay. File has only partially uploaded. It returns 3. Okay. So you can access different codes. Okay. You can try to display this error codes using this So let us look at an example. So this is an example. So here you have assume that I had a field of something like this. This is our form. This is our backend code. Okay. What is the backend code? So backend code is checking each file uploaded for any error. Okay, we are checking the file for any kind of error. Okay, so this is your super global array $files. Okay, super global array. Then we are having this is for each statement. This is key and this is value. Okay, this is key and this is value. Next, array name. Okay, error. Okay, we are checking. Okay, this field. Okay, this field error field. Okay, error field. This field error field. Whether it is equal to uploaded error okay. Okay, whether it is not equal to uploaded error okay. That means if there is no error, what it returns? It returns 0, correct? So uploaded error okay, what is the answer? Integer value it is 0. Whether it is not equal to 0. Okay. If it is not equal to 0, what you will understand? There is something wrong. Okay. If successful, it returns what? If successfully you are able to upload, then it returns 0. Okay. If it is not equal to 0, then you understand that it is an error. Okay. So if there is any error, okay, display the key and display the error message. Okay. Or else if it returns a 0, then display the message uploaded successfully. Okay. The three mechanism for maintaining the uploaded file. How you can upload the file? Okay. So what are the three ways of uploading the file? One is you can go for HTML. Okay, actually using HTML also it is possible. Okay, to upload the file. Using JavaScript also it is possible, and using PHP also it is possible. There are three ways. Okay, so let us look into those all three ways. So sometimes they may ask you what are the three mechanisms for maintaining uploaded file size restrictions. Okay, maintaining uploaded file size restriction. Okay, so sometimes you may tell that I need only 500 KB file. I need only 500 MB file, 200 MB file. That file restrictions. How you can do the file restrictions? Look at this. Okay, the first way of doing the restriction to the file is using HTML. Okay, this is using HTML. What you have to do? You have to create a hidden field. Okay, if you remember, we had discussed this hidden. Type is equal to hidden, which is not visible to the user. Okay, hidden means it is not visible to the user, and you are specifying the maximum file size. And here you specify the size, how much size. Okay, so this when you upload the file, it will check for this hidden field and it will check whether this maximum size is equal to this or less than size, less than. Okay, and this is using JavaScript. JavaScript, what will do? You get the file. So this is your file name. Okay, if you see here, what is the name of the file? It is file1. Okay, so here get element by ID file1. Okay, so get the file, store it in variable file. Check the file size. Get element by ID. Maximum file size. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, get the maximum file size dot value. What is the value here? It is okay, somewhere around. Let us take it is 1 KB. Okay, 1 KB. Just an example. That will be stored in the variable max size. Okay, then you are checking files dot files. That means whether the file is uploaded, and files dot files length is equal to 1. That means whether there is at least one file you have uploaded. There are options that you can upload multiple files, correct? Sometimes you are able to upload multiple files. So in that case, you have to check whether at least one file is uploaded. Okay, then this is very important. Okay, you are checking whether the file size is greater than the maximum prescribed size. Okay, what is this? 1 KB here. Okay, we are checking whether it is greater than 1 KB. If it is 1 KB greater, then display this message. Okay, file size must be less than. And stop. Prevent default will stop submitting your file to the server. Okay, This is how using JavaScript, and you can also do it using PHP. Okay, specify your file size. Okay, so let us take this as 1 KB. And what you can do is you can use this field $array. Okay, size, whether it is greater than this prescribed size. Okay, so this is the name of the array, and this is the field you can fetch. Okay, which will give you the size of the array in PHP. You can see here, where it is here. So here there is one more size. Okay, what the size will give? Size of the file. Okay, in PHP. So you can either check the size of the file before uploading using this HTML you can create, and you can create this JavaScript. Okay, one way is this, or you can do it using PHP also. This is very simple actually. Okay, in the server side only you can check the file size using this built-in size array key. So limiting the type of the file upload. Here what you have done, you are checking for the file size, correct? So this is you are checking for the type, whether you have uploaded the type of the file is Excel file or image file, okay, which is having the extension .pg, JPG, PNG, or whether you have uploaded Word file. Okay, you are checking for this extension of the file. Okay, so look at here. What we have done here is, okay, we have given, okay, this is array where it specifies, okay, extension of the file. Okay, it is checking. This is array which stores extension of the file. We are telling that I want to upload only if the file is having the extension .jpg or png. Next one way is we are checking for the type of the file. Okay, so this is the type of the file you have to check. Okay, how the type of the file, it will not be in png or jpg. This is how it is stored. Okay, if you see the type of the file, this is how it is there. Okay, this is type of the file. Okay, jpg will be having the type image bar jpeg, and png will be having the type image bar png. Okay, now here you are using the for each loop. Okay, this much. Here what you do is, first assume that you are uploading, okay, correct file. Okay, 1.png, you are uploading this file. Okay, 1.png. So what is the extension? It is PNG, correct? But we are interested only with this extension. We are not interested with the name of the file. So we need this extension. So what we know, we use this built-in function explode. So what explode will do? Okay, array. Okay, based on the, it will separate this array. Okay, this is the array which will be having the name of the file 1.png. Okay, so this will separate. Okay, this will separate this array based on this separator. What is the separator here? Dot. So how many elements will be having? Not just 2 elements. Okay, so this will convert your array to string. Okay, so this will convert your explode. What you have studied about explode. So if you remember, here we have discussed about explode. What explode will do? String into array. Export, what it will do? It will convert the string into array. So this is your string. Okay, this is your string. Okay. This will be your string 1.png, which will be converted into array. And now it is having how many fields? 2 fields. Okay. 0th index it is having 1, and second index it will be having png. Okay. So this will separate your string based on, okay, export will convert, okay, string to array. I just write S to A. Okay. So now which will be stored in this variable. Okay, so this is your array, extension is your array. Okay, now what we do is array, okay, dollar file array, you are checking the type of the array. okay, whether it is equal to this valid type. Okay, now you are checking whether it's having this type. Okay, and also we are checking whether in the array, okay, in the array extension, whether you are having this valid extension, whether you have this extension in the array. Yes, we are having this png is there in this array dollar extension. Okay, this png is there in this extension. Yes, now this is also is true and this is also is true. So what it will give? It will display the message all is well, extension and also type is also valid. Okay. So now what you are doing? You are checking the type of the file. So the next last one is moving the file. Okay. So here what you have to do is we are moving the temporary file, okay, to its permanent location. How to move? Okay. So very simple. Okay, we are using this built-in function. Okay. So this is your temporary location, okay, which you can get using this extension. Okay, dollar files. Okay, name of the file, file one. This building, okay, key will give you the temporary location. Okay, if you remember here, see, this will give you the temporary location. Okay, temp file. So this will give you temporary location. A lot of things to remember. Okay, and this is your new location. You are setting. What is the new location? Dollar upload. Okay, and dollar file name. Okay, get the file name. Assume that this is one.png. So your new location is what? Somewhere, okay, somewhere in the root dollar upload one.png. So this is your new location. Okay, now what you are doing? Dollar. Okay, you are calling this function, built-in function, which takes two parameter, temporary location and permanent location. So from this temporary location, you are moving it to the permanent location. If you are able to move without any error, it will display the message file was uploaded and moved successfully. So likewise, what you can do is when you are uploading some images or any kind of file in your mini project, what you can do is instead of storing it in some temporary location, you can create your own folder name and you can guide your file to store there. Okay. So this is about files. So answer your attendance.